They're also doing this in the classrooms because this has been going around the Chinese internet in promotion of fighting back against tariffs. Because in China right now in the public school system, they're teaching their students a song about how America is bad and evil and terrible, and how China is going to beat them in the trade war. Because just like the CCP does, they throw their citizens in front of the government as a meat shield.
Yes. One
They
thing
teach
that's, there are a couple of things that's a little unnerving about this clip. We've shown in the past, we'll continue to show how they use children in their propaganda efforts, which I'm very uncomfortable about.
Hate that.
But they're also using a beauty filter on this phone, which is
They
very
do it on.
strange.
They do that all the
Yeah.
time on end.
So all the children look very weird as a
like,
result.
especially the boys are like
Yeah, like
alien
yeah,
face.
chin. Look at that little dude in the background there. He's like,
Oh, he'll
whoa.
pop up in a minute. Yeah.
So anyway, let's take a look at these lyrics.
U.S. raised tariff to play dirty. What an arrogant action.
I think you're not reading it in the right intonation.
Sorry.
Isn't this a horrible thing to say? U.S. raised tariff to play dirty. What an arrogant action.
Okay. I do it better.
川流淌，温水乱家太嚣张，以为此举能
They thought it is a tough action. Actually, it is foolish and ridiculous.
逞强，其实愚蠢又荒唐。中国从来不
China's never afraid of this. We are a massive country with credit. Not quite sure what that. I mean,
Oh,
it's
with rip, yeah, grip, yeah.
yeah.
With morals.
Not scared at all.
名将关水
You put on tariff, I reciprocate. What else can you do with me, huh?
多三
Like that.
Yeah.
你能奈我怎样？华夏儿女。
Chinese
Alright,
people have the power
fine.
to make U.S. nervous.
Kind of a terrible skill.
Yes. It's like, oh, she better watch out. China makes me nervous. You know what I mean? Like, what? It's like,
How about you spend some of this tariff money that you're bragging about or whatever and like fix your freaking classrooms, these poor kids.
I know.
This derelict wasteland.
Yep. Imperialism is set to fail. Now, isn't
What-
China doing neo-imperialism all over Africa?
For yourself and the BRI across the world.
Yes. I think China's probably the most imperialist country at the moment.
They've
Going to all these African countries, everywhere
Whipping-
buying up
whipping
ports.
people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
forcing
terrible.
African children in cobalt mines.
Yes.
Bro,
Yeah.
let's not even compare.
Yes, exactly. The rise of China's unstoppable. What's that to say a lie enough and, it becomes the truth?
You know, they don't even have air conditioning in their classrooms, by the way.
No.
In a lot of them.
No, they don't.
The majority of them, actually.
Oh, look, even when they do, they
Dirty.
don't like to turn it on.
Like the walls are dirty and
Yeah.
stuff. Here's
There
the
we go.
problem. No harm, no foul. These kids, not their
Poor
fault.
kids.
They are being indoctrinated into
Yes.
absolute hate. I'm just speaking to Americans here. If you have kids, are they coming home from school and singing songs about China sucks, their tariffs are really unfair?
Yes, we
We will defeat them.
with our stronger economy.
Yeah.
No.
No. You don't get taught that kind of stuff.
No.
Alexa,
Children.
I'm actually
weather?
kind of mad. I get very mad because my daughter comes home from school and she would have learned something about a
China.
different culture. And when it's near Chinese New Year, she comes home from school and she's learned how to make a Chinese lantern.
Public school.
Yes, they do a dragon
In
dance.
rural public school in
Yeah,
America.
Yeah, they make a little dance. They make a little thing about the different cultures. They do it for all cultures around the world. They learn the positives of other people's cultures. They don't get taught that China's their enemy.
No. But China literally is teaching the most vile hatred.
Yes.
This is a tiny little smattering.
dude.
I did a whole video expose on the textbooks. I translated a textbook.
Yeah, I remember. It's
It's
a good one.
bad, dude.
Yeah, so they're teaching their kids now that America's the enemy because of the tariffs and that we will destroy them and America's arrogant and dirty and all this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right? It's ridiculous. And as we all know, they set up the Japanese flags to stomp on them, and it's childish and at the same time just absolutely abhorrent and disgusting that they treat children like this.
And I hate to say this, but they're getting ready for something. They're
Of
preparing
course.
their populace for something.
Yes.
Perhaps a Taiwan invasion where they have to get people to be like, oh shit, life sucks now.
Yeah.
But I gotta be like back in my country or whatever. You know?
Well, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson, the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson, put out this official video from the Chinese government.
Speak of the devil, by the way.
Yeah.
Getting people ready for something.
Yes. Okay, this is what it says, never kneel down. Let's take a look.
Have you heard of the eye of the storm? It appears calm for a moment, but is actually a deadly trap. The calm before an even fiercer storm. The U.S. has stirred up a global tariff storm and deliberately targeted China, playing a 90-day pause game with other nations, forcing them to limit trade with China.
Yeah.
This is just like the deadly trap of the eye of the storm. Bowing to a bully is like drinking poison to quench thirst. It only deepens the crisis.
AI
Okay.
schlock.
You know what's very interesting about this is, okay, they're talking about all this, America's targeting and all that, and then they show all this footage of job fairs, applications to show that America doesn't have jobs. Then they showed, you see, and then they showed that like derelict mining equipment from an ancient 1800s mine in America. It's like, oh, all the industry's gone away. Then they show the protests that they themselves funded